A warm greeting. Today is Monday, August 12, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time of recording this video, it is 6 p.m. local time in the northeastern Caribbean, where a tropical storm warning is in effect for the northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico due to the imminent passage of what is now Tropical Storm Ernesto. Several missions by the Hurricane Hunter aircraft have been investigating this area, and this afternoon they found that the system already has a defined circulation center at low levels of the atmosphere and has maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. As a result, at 5 p.m., the National Hurricane Center designated this disturbance as the fifth tropical storm of the season, Tropical Storm Ernesto. And although we finally have a defined circulation center, as you can see in the infrared satellite image, the organization of the system remains quite poor, making the forecast quite complicated. We've seen some variations throughout the day. First, in the morning, models showed a much more westward trajectory, which placed the circulation center entering over the eastern part of the island of Puerto Rico. However, in the Hurricane Hunter aircraft mission, they found that the circulation center relocated more to the north, leading to a trajectory adjustment. It is now projected to pass over the Virgin Islands, Vieques, and Culebra. However, this is subject to change since the circulation remains quite elongated, and any relocation of the center further south or north could have significant implications for its future trajectory, from moving the system farther from the Puerto Rico region to bringing it closer to the west. The important thing is that we are still under a tropical storm warning, so everyone from the island of Guadeloupe to Puerto Rico should be preparing for tropical storm conditions that will soon approach the Lesser Antilles and later, during the afternoon and night of Tuesday, the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Also, note that the area of moisture and rainfall associated with Tropical Storm Ernesto is quite large, so regardless of the path the circulation center takes, a few rainy days and a significant flood event are expected. Let's zoom in a bit on the visible satellite image, where you can clearly see how this system has become more organized. However, data from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft confirms that the circulation remains elongated, so center relocations may continue to occur over the next few hours, leaving us with some uncertainty in the forecast. While some models agree with the National Hurricane Center's official trajectory, others, like the GFS model, project that it could pass over the island of Puerto Rico. Regardless of the path it takes, it is already very close to the northern Lesser Antilles, making it certain that tropical storm conditions will affect this region. For Puerto Rico, tropical storm conditions will depend on exactly how close or far the circulation center passes. At this moment, 2 Hurricane Hunter aircraft are investigating the area, and we will have new data to share later tonight. But at least in the latest projections from the specialized trajectory models, note that they continue to project a generally westward movement over the next 24 hours. By around midday Tuesday, the center should move over the Lesser Antilles and then begin to take a more northwesterly turn. It is expected to pass very close to or over the eastern part of Puerto Rico and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. In fact, these trajectories represent a significant change from what we had this morning, because the Hurricane Hunter aircraft found that the circulation center this afternoon had relocated 30 miles further north. However, as I mentioned, further relocations to the north or south are possible over the next few hours, but the most likely trajectory is the one marked by the National Hurricane Center. In terms of intensity, models continue to project that it will pass over the Lesser Antilles and Puerto Rico as a weak or moderate tropical storm, although eventually, when it moves into the Atlantic waters and heads towards Bermuda, it is projected that it could become a Category 2 or 3 hurricane. Let's look at the latest forecast published at 5 p.m. by the National Hurricane Center. In blue, we see the tropical storm warning that remains in effect for Puerto Rico, the British and U.S. Virgin Islands, Anguilla, St. Barthélemy, Antigua, and Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts, and Nevis, and the island of Guadeloupe. At 5 p.m., the National Hurricane Center projects that it will pass over the island of Guadeloupe during the morning hours of Tuesday, with maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour, then maintaining a west-northwest trajectory until crossing over the island of St. Croix and the municipal islands of Vieques and Culebra. It is projected that when it passes closest to or very near Puerto Rico, it will have maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour, and note that the cone of uncertainty extends to the center of Puerto Rico and the British Virgin Islands. Let's see some projections from global models. Here we have the projection of the GFS model, which continues to insist on a more southerly trajectory, threatening the island of Puerto Rico. In the latest run released a few minutes ago, note how the model relocates further south tonight, causing it to have a trajectory closer to or over the island of Puerto Rico as a moderate or strong tropical storm. The model projects that it would cross over Puerto Rico during the morning hours of Wednesday, and eventually maintain a northerly trajectory as it strengthens and approaches the island of Bermuda. On the other hand, we have the European model's projection with a trajectory very similar to the one marked by the National Hurricane Center. It has Tropical Storm Ernesto crossing over the northern Lesser Antilles, then over the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, passing about 50 to 60 miles northeast of Puerto Rico, yet close enough to leave some tropical storm effects on Puerto Rico, and over the northern Lesser Antilles. We also have the German model, which, like the GFS model, projects a more westerly trajectory over Puerto Rico and passing very close to the northeast of the Dominican Republic. So again, you can see that some relocations of the center are possible, and we still don't know exactly whether it will pass over the Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico. This is why it is important for everyone to prepare for the effects of a tropical storm. The ensemble of European model members mostly maintains a trajectory just northeast of Puerto Rico over the Virgin Islands. If this forecast holds, the strongest tropical storm winds would remain over Atlantic waters and affect the northern islands of the Lesser Antilles and some sectors of eastern and northeastern Puerto Rico. These wind gusts can be seen in the European model's projection, where in orange, you can see 40 to 50 miles per hour winds affecting the northern Lesser Antilles, the Virgin Islands, and sectors of the coast and east of Puerto Rico. However, remember that if the GFS model projection holds, tropical storm winds could affect the rest of Puerto Rico. So the evolution of this system over the next 12 hours will be crucial to know exactly who will experience the strongest winds. Apart from the wind, what concerns us most is the anticipated rain. Models project that 4 to 6 inches of rain could fall in the northern Lesser Antilles, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico, with isolated locations receiving over 8 inches of rain. But the maximum rainfall accumulations will depend on the final trajectory taken by Tropical Storm Ernesto. Well, that's all for this forecast update. In summary, in the northern Lesser Antilles, from the Virgin Islands to the island of Guadeloupe, you should prepare for the effects of a tropical storm, with winds between 50 to 60 miles per hour or equivalent to 70 to 85 kilometers per hour. Additionally, Puerto Rico should also prepare for the impact of a tropical storm. Although there is still some uncertainty, with a bit of luck, the circulation center could pass a little further from the island, leaving the maximum sustained winds of tropical storm strength over the Virgin Islands and the Atlantic without affecting the island. However, if the center relocates further south, as shown by the GFS model, then these tropical storm winds could affect all of Puerto Rico. Also, everyone should prepare for a significant rain event that has already begun for parts of the Lesser Antilles, and will later affect the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico from Tuesday afternoon, extending until Thursday morning. Well, I say goodbye for now. I'll see you again tomorrow morning.